Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Miss R, your favorite art teacher. And what you are looking at here is a time-lapse video of me working on one of the 6 blocks in what I call the value exercise. And this is our next assignment. It's getting us ready for the value drawing. And I want you to understand why I'm having you do this. So here is a past example by a former 7th grader. All right, so there's the 2 things. We have dark and then suddenly light, and then we have dark where it slowly kind of blends. In the value exercise, there are also both of those spots. There's this dark, right? And then next to it, there's this light with a crisp, clean line. And then there's also spots where it blends a little more slowly. So it's dark, and then it kind of slowly blends, and it blends out until you can't really see it. You know that I'm not a big fan of the smudging, and I didn't do any smudging here at all. And I want you to learn how to get the different values and blend them together without having to smudge. One thing that each of these boxes have in common is they all have this gray frame around them, but the value doesn't go all the way up to the gray frame. It leaves this white margin. So it's going to take anywhere from, and this is probably the more complicated one because of the contour lines here. You know, we want that look of this almost like comes to a point. So I was doing it going this direction, but you can move in all different directions for this. You don't have to just go one way. And that's actually, you do want to go different directions, because to get a crisp line like this, I had to make sure I was going this way and this way. If you just go one way, it's going to be really, really hard to get those sharp edges that we're looking for. You're going to start by making those kind of borders to indicate we're not going to go any farther than these spots here. Okay, so we're leaving this white frame. First, I want to show you what not to do. All right, so we have the gray box around each of these. You don't want to start doing your value right next to the gray box. You're leaving this white frame, and they all have it. So you want to leave that white box in between each one, okay? So remember to leave the white border. There's a few different ways that you can control your value when you really get down to it. If you do a lot of layers, right? So a lot of back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, that's going to make the value darker. And if you're pushing with your pencil a little bit harder, right? So there's the layers and the pressure that you're pushing. Here, as I'm wanting this to get lighter, I'm not... Oh, little interruption there. So I'm pushing not as hard here, all right? So less pressure, lighter. And here, it's also, it's dark value, and the edge is dark, but as this gets lighter, 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 the edge is also getting lighter. So this dark line that I did is a little bit too dark, because here it's gonna get lighter. The edge also gets lighter. All right, and like I said, it takes about 15-20 minutes to do each one of these, just solidly straight working on it. A little tip that I want to give you, like I just realized I did this one already, and I'm up here. I'm probably smudging this a little bit. You want to take a scrap paper. I'm going to put this over here, so as I'm working on this, even if I'm like, you know, really scraping back and forth with my arm, nothing's getting smudged. I'm not getting dirty, but I'm not smudging and ruining my work. My strokes are not very big. Do you notice how I'm being controlled? If I am doing this just because I want to get it over with, I'm probably not going to do as nice of a job. And when it gets to doing the value drawing, there are a lot of spots where it's so tiny. Like you're going to have to be slow and controlled and small with your strokes. So I want you to be practicing that. That's one of the reasons that we're doing this. We're practicing, we're exercising our use and control of lights and darks, controlling value. So I have another time lapse going here, and I'm hoping that you can see so much of this is about the layers. I keep going back over the areas where I want it darker, and I can smooth where I want it to blend between values. I just want to make sure, right, where it's nice, crisp, clean values. I have that clean from dark, dark, suddenly light. Make sure this is nice and straight and crisp edges. Where it blends slowly, I want to make sure I'm blending slowly. For other boxes here, I'm just going to draw the lines here. So this one kind of fades out here, where this one kind of fades into the middle. This fades out here, so I don't want a dark line here. This is going to fade out. So there you have it. That's the value exercise. Thank you for watching.